Hey, it's your coach, Laurie McNaughton, coming to you again today with another quick video on how you can maximize the potential inside your organization. So today I'm going to talk about really the biggest challenge you and your business will face, and that is building a successful mindset. The biggest challenge you will face building a successful business is yourself. Thoughts of failing can permeate your business and keep you in an unresourceful state of mind. And now, how do we stop these unresourceful thoughts? Start thinking instead of allowing your brain just to drift around with random thoughts. Worrying about something that happened in the future, or pardon me, worrying about something that may happen in the future, or worrying about mistakes that you made in the past. These sort of random thoughts put you in what I call an unresourceful state of being or an unresourceful state of mind. Worrying puts you into fight, flight, freeze, activating your survival mechanism. Your thoughts are in an uncertain future or on an uncertain future, or really on the familiar past. Random thoughts about mistakes that you made last week, last year, or even 20 years ago. All your energy goes into the past or into an uncertain future. And when you're in fight, flight, you're in survival, and when you're in survival, all you can think about is surviving. There is no energy at this time for creation. So when you're stuck here, I can predict your future, and it's going to look very much like the past. So where do we create? We create in the present moment. So how do we stay in the present moment? Well, the best tools that I have found are mindfulness, and that's just being aware that I'm aware of the person who's doing the thinking, and just because I have these thoughts does not necessarily make them real. And meditation is really the process of, in my mind, practicing to stay in the present moment. So I want you to write this down. I want you to write this down and repeat it to yourself. I am aware that I am unlimited and that my business is unlimited. I want you to say it over and over again a few times because I want it to sink in and get you sort of dislodge that negative thinking about, worrying about this and worrying about that, or worrying about something that probably in likelihood may never happen. But if you're worried about it all the time, I got to tell you, it's way more likely to happen. So say it over a few times. I am unlimited. I am unlimited. How does that make you feel? Now think about that for a second, because it's really important as to how you feel, because that's what really drives what you do. So when you know that you're really unlimited, it becomes clear that the only thing that is limiting you is those thoughts. And remember what I said about thoughts, right? So notice I didn't say you. I said your thoughts. It's important to understand that your thoughts are not you. They're simply they're simply thoughts randomly floating around in your unconscious. Those thoughts could have come from any conversation you had, any books you read, TV you watched, movies that you went to. Literally, it could come from anywhere, almost from the day you were born. So, how do we change that? What's the difference between someone who is successful and someone who is not? Just ponder that for a second. People who struggle choose to believe that the thoughts they have without question. They think those thoughts are real. Successful people question those thoughts. They question the thoughts that they have. So, for clarification, I want to put a definition to what I think success is. I define success as being healthy, happy, and wealthy. I put them in that order because it's hard to be happy, first of all, if you're not healthy. And what is the point of being wealthy if you're not happy? So healthy, happy, and wealthy. After that, nothing else really, really matters. So how do I define happiness? I think this is something that I don't think this is something. This is something that I've really thought about a lot. I define happiness as the absence of unhealthy stress, anxiety, anger, frustration, resentment, jealousy, feelings of hopelessness and helplessness, dread, and lack. If you don't have these thoughts in your life, what's left? In my mind, there's just happiness. And I want to come back to this because to me, there's nothing else more important in life, and that's to be happy. Not just to have pleasurable, fun experiences, but to generally have an overall feeling of well-being and happiness. So, I want to just take a minute and describe what I'm going to. Pardon me. Sorry, I'm going to let you describe what health or wealth means to you. For me, as I said, first I want to be healthy, and then I want to be happy, and then I want to be wealthy because I believe that wealth comes from being healthy and happy, and from there, wealth means to me some freedom of choice. We live in a lovely home. We live in a lovely neighborhood. We have nice cars. If we want something, we can buy it. But most important for us, this is me and my wife, is that we can travel. We want to go places. We want to experience things. We want to go to other parts of the world and experience other cultures. That to me is happiness. You know, having a garage full of cars that I don't drive, I don't know. I can't see how that makes anybody happy. Having I'm not going to go into two, but too much stuff, too many things. I don't see how that makes a person happy. I think a lot of times people are trying to fill a hole of unhappiness with stuff, and I just don't get that. So here's the thing. If you get caught up in the number of zeros you have in your bank account, you're going to start to compare yourself to others out there. And there's always going to be somebody out there who has more money and leaves you wanting more money, which to me is insane. Instead of the important things in life like health and happiness. Now, again, health, happiness, and wealth, freedom of choice. But for me, happiness also includes having really great relationships with friends, spending time with people that I really care about and love. That makes me feel happy inside. So money simply does not buy you happiness. From time to time, I'm sure you've come across people, whether that's in the news or on YouTube or some other form of social media, who literally have so much money that they could probably buy a country if they wanted to. And yet they're not happy. Hello. Sorry. Prioritize things. Start with happiness. And happiness comes from within. I'm not going to dive down that rabbit hole too far. It's certainly something that if people wanted to talk about, I'm happy to have that conversation with them. So for me, happiness comes from within, and knowing that really I'm unlimited. I can do and have whatever it is that I want to have. There's nothing that can stop me from doing and being and having whatever I want to have except for myself. Okay, moving along quickly. How do we get out of these sort of random thoughts and into thinking? It's a simple tool, and this simple tool costs you absolutely nothing. It's free of charge, and I'm going to give it to you right now, and that is questions. Questions control what you're thinking about. So if you find yourself in an unresourceful state or an unresourceful situation, start to ask yourself better questions. Now, you might want to get up and move around because sometimes your body gets stuck in an unresourceful state. And it could be helpful just to get up, move around, shake it off, loosen it up, let it move out, and then start to ask yourself really great questions. So here's some really good questions that you can ask. What is good about this? Or what could be good about this? What can I learn from this? What becomes possible when I figure this out? What's great about my life? What could be great about my life? What am I most grateful for, or what could I be grateful for? I'm just going to stop there just for a second and say gratitude is like a magnet. The more you express gratitude, the more the more things that come into your life that you can be grateful for, in part because you start to recognize all of the wonderful things that you're grateful for. So another good question is, who do I love and why do I love them? Who loves me and why do they love me? These are questions literally that'll get you out of an unresourceful state of mind by thinking your way through versus just allowing these random thoughts to ramble around in your head unchecked. Now, okay, so let's take a look at some questions that can help you solve some business problems. First, you need to identify what the problem is that you want to solve. So I'm going to use an example of high turnover of employees or unresourceful employees as a challenge that your company faces. It's a popular challenge. This is one of the ones that I deal with clients all the time. So first of all, you have to identify what it is that you want. So create a clear picture of what great employees look like. What would having a team of professional, grade A, highly motivated people working for your company, what would that look like? Now, the next thing you need to do here is admit your role in creating that challenge. And this is the most important thing because you are ultimately responsible for the turnover and unresourceful employees inside your company. Now, you might say, well, I have somebody in HR. I have an HR team that does that. You hired the HR people. Am I correct? So ultimately, you have to accept it. If it's going to change, it's up to you. Brian Tracy said, if it is to be, it's up to me. So the next thing you got to do is then ask, what can I do differently so that I can solve this challenge? Now, jot down the ideas. They could consist of things like I could read a book on leadership or maybe several books on leadership. I could hire a consultant or I could hire a coach to help me. I could identify the characteristics of a great employee. I could read books on creating better hiring processes. I could create a better environment for my team. I could appreciate them more. Simple things. Appreciate your employees instead of always thinking, why are they so unappreciative of what I do? You could work on making your business more profitable so that you could afford to pay people more. Remember, grade A employees have dreams, hopes, and desires and goals that they want to achieve. And if they feel like they're stuck someplace in a rut working at your organization, they're going to look elsewhere. They're going to look someplace else. So if they know that they can fulfill, as I said, those hopes, dreams, desires, and goals that they have, then and another big part of that is to have people that they have fun with at work. If you do that, you've got employees that are going to be exceptional. So what else could you do? I could create a business model that the best people can come to work and grow and be appreciated. I've kind of said that already. Have opportunities to advance their careers and be paid remunerated well. I could create a more systematic approach to my business so it's less reliant on people, more reliant on the systems, which can allow me to hire people who have the right attitude versus necessarily the right aptitude, because people with the right attitude you can teach them anything. But remember, that's another part. You need to become a coach or a teacher inside your organization. So as you can see, there's any number of solutions that come to asking a simple question, which interrupts the random thoughts and puts your energy on solutions rather than the woe is me mindset, which leads to one thing. Okay, wait a minute. Maybe it's two things. First of all, nothing of value comes out of that, and unwanted stress and anxiety comes out of that. So, other questions you might want to ask. Where can we be more profitable? What products or services are we most profitable in? What other markets could we service with those same products and services? Who are our best companies and why are they? Or pardon me, who are our best customers and why are they? And how do we find more of them? How can we use leverage to do more with less? What areas of our business could we create more leverage in? Let me say this, if there is a problem, there is a solution. And if there is no solution, there is no problem. There's always, always a way. Listen, I trust that you found this helpful. Listen to it again. If you like, take some notes down, make some changes in the way that you look at things, and figure out some great questions that you can ask yourself. So before I leave, I'd just like to say, if you want to know how a business coach with over 20 years experience can help you take your business to the next level, just go to lauriemcnaughton.com. do a little reading on the front page and scroll your way down. There's a link in there that we do a discovery meeting together. That discovery meeting is just a quick 15-minute call to understand if there's something that I can help you with and that you're desiring that help with that particular challenging issue. And if we decide that there is, then we'll book a longer meeting. Again, it's complimentary meeting where we can dive a little bit deeper in and understanding what the cause is. Because a symptom in a business is turnover is high. We have unproductive employees. That's merely a symptom. What I do is by asking questions is to understand what the cause is, and then I can talk about the solutions for you. And you might just say, "Hey, thank you very much, appreciate it. That was awesome. I'm going to put this into play." Great. Or you might say, "You know what? I could use some help with this. Let's sit down and talk some more." Great. So go to lauriemcnaughton.com, scroll down, book yourself a discovery meeting. As my mom always used to say, nothing ventured, nothing gained. There's always a way. There isn't a problem in your business that can't be solved through asking questions. Thanks for your time. Have yourself a great day, and I look forward to one day having the opportunity to meet with you and maybe even work with you.